Stockton is the county seat of San Joaquin County, located in the northern portion of the U.S.State California and the San Jose-San Francisco-Oakland Combined Statistical Area, an extension of the Bay Area. Stockton was founded by Captain Charles Maria Weber in 1849 after he acquired Rancho Campo de los Franceses. The city is named after Robert F. Stockton, and it was the first community in California to not have a name of Spanish Native American origin. The city is located on the San Joaquin River in the northern San Joaquin Valley and had an estimated population of 302,389 as of 2014. Stockton is the 13th largest city in California and the 63rd largest city in the United States. It was named an All-American City in 1999 and again in 2004. Built during the California Gold Rush, Stockton's seaport serves as a gateway to the Central Valley and beyond. It provided easy access for trade and transportation to the southern gold mines. Stockton has been the location of the oldest university in California, University of the Pacific, since 1923. As a result of the 2008 financial crisis, Stockton was the second largest city in the United States to file for bankruptcy protection. Geography. Stockton is situated amidst the farmland of California's San Joaquin Valley, a subregion of the Central Valley. In and around Stockton are thousands of miles of waterways which make up the California Delta. Interstate 5 and State Route 99, inland California's major north-south highways, pass through the city. State Route 4 and the dredged San Joaquin River connect the city with the San Francisco Bay Area to its west. Stockton and Sacramento are California's only inland seaports. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city occupies a total area of 64.8 square miles, of which 61.7 square miles is land and 3.1 square miles is water. History. When Europeans first visited the Stockton area, the Yachacam, a branch of the Northern Valley Yokuz Indians, occupied the Stockton area. They built the villages on low mounds to keep the homes above regular floods. A Yokuz village named Pasozimas was located on a mound between Edson and Harrison Streets on what is now the Stockton Channel in downtown Stockton. The Siskiyou Trail began in the northern San Joaquin Valley. It was a centuries-old Native American footpath that led through the Sacramento Valley over the Cascades and into present-day Oregon. 19th-century Gold Rush era Europeans and Americans started to arrive in the area after gold was found in Northern California, starting the Gold Rush in 1848. When Captain Charles Maria Weber, a German immigrant, decided to try his hand at gold mining in late 1848, he soon found that supplying gold seekers was a more profitable venture. As an alien, Weber could not secure a land grant directly, so he formed a partnership with William Gulney. Born in New York, Gulney had married a Mexican woman and sworn allegiance to Mexico, which then ruled California. He applied in Weber's place for a land grant of 11 square leagues on the east side of the San Joaquin River. Weber acquired the Rancho Campo de los Franceses Mexican land grant and founded Stockton in 1849. Captain Weber built the first permanent residence in the San Joaquin Valley on a piece of land now known as Weber Point. During the California Gold Rush, Stockton developed as a river port, the hub of roads to the gold settlements in the San Joaquin Valley and northern terminus of the Stockton-Los Angeles Road. During its early years, Stockton was known by several names, including Tulaberg, Fat City, and Mudville. Weber decided on Stockton in honor of Commodore Robert F. Stockton. Stockton was the first community in California to have a name that was neither Spanish nor Native American in origin. Chinese immigration. Thousands of Chinese came to Stockton from the Guangdong province of China during the 1850s due to a combination of political and economic unrest in China and the discovery of gold in California. After the gold rush, many worked for the railroads and land reclamation projects in the Sacramento-San Joaquin River Delta and remained in Stockton. By 1880, Stockton was home to the third largest Chinese community in California. Discriminatory laws, in particular the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882, restricted immigration and prevented the Chinese from buying property. The Lincoln Hotel, built in 1920 by the Wong brothers on South El Dorado Street, was considered one of Stockton's finest hotels at the time. Only after the Magnuson Act was repealed in 1962, American-born Chinese were allowed to buy property and own buildings. Incorporated. The city was officially incorporated on July 23, 1850, by the county court, and the first city election was held on July 31, 1850. In 1851, the city of Stockton received its charter from the state of California. Early settlers included gold seekers from Asia, Africa, Australia, Europe, the Pacific Islands, Mexico and Canada. The historical population diversity is reflected in Stockton street names, architecture, numerous ethnic festivals, and in the faces and heritage of a majority of its citizens. In 1870, the Census Bureau reported Stockton's population as 87.6% white and 10.7% Asian. Many Chinese were immigrating to California as workers in these years, especially for the Transcontinental Railroad. Benjamin Holt settled in Stockton in 1883 and with his three brothers founded the Stockton Wheel Co., and later the Holt Manufacturing Company. On Thanksgiving Day, November 24, 1904, Holt successfully tested the first workable track-laying machine, plowing soggy San Joaquin Valley Delta farmland. Company photographer Charles Clements was reported to have observed that the tractor crawled like a caterpillar, and Holt seized on the metaphor. Caterpillar it is. That's the name for it. 20th century. On April 22, 1918, British Army officer Colonel Ernest Dunlop Swinton visited Stockton while on a tour of the United States. The British and French armies were using many hundreds of Holt tractors to haul heavy guns and supplies during World War I, and Swinton publicly thanked Benjamin Holt and his workforce for their contribution to the war effort. During 1914 and 1915, Swinton had advocated basing some sort of armored fighting vehicle on Holt's Caterpillar tractors, but without success. After the appearance of tanks on the battlefield, Holt built a prototype, the gas-electric tank, but it did not enter production. The extensive network of waterways in and around Stockton was fished and navigated by Miwok Indians for centuries. During the California Gold Rush, the San Joaquin River was navigable by ocean-going vessels, making Stockton a natural inland seaport and point of supply and departure for prospective gold miners. For the mid-19th century onward, Stockton became the region's transportation hub, dealing mainly with agricultural products. By 1931, the Stockton Electric Railroad Company operated 40 streetcars over 28 miles of track. Stockton is the site of the first Sikh temple in the United States. Stockton Gurdwara Sahib opened on October 24, 1912. It was founded by Baba Jawala Singh and Baba Wasaka Singh, successful Punjabi immigrants who farmed and owned 500 acres on the Holt River. In 1933, the port was modernized, and the Stockton Deepwater Channel, which improved water passage to San Francisco Bay, was deepened and completed. This created commercial opportunities that fueled the city's growth. Rough and Ready Island Island Naval Supply Depot was established, placing Stockton in a strategic position during the Cold War. During the Great Depression, the town's canning industry became the battleground of a labor dispute resulting in the Spinach Riot of 1937. During World War II, the Stockton Assembly Center was built on the San Joaquin County Fairgrounds, a few blocks from what was then the city center, one of 15 temporary detention sites run by the Wartime Civilian Control Administration. The center held some 4,200 Japanese Americans removed from the West Coast homes under Executive Order 9066, while they waited for transfer to more permanent and isolated camps in the interior of the country. The center opened on May 10, 1942 and operated until October 17, when the majority of its population was sent to Roa, Arkansas. The former incarceration site was named a California Historical Landmark in 1980, and in 1984 a marker was erected at the entrance to the fairgrounds. In September 1996, the Base Realignment and Closure Commission announced the final closure of Stockton's Naval Reserve Center on Rough and Ready Island, formerly known as Rough and Ready Island Naval Supply Depot. The island's facilities had served as a major communications outpost for submarine activities in the Pacific during the Cold War. The site is slowly being redeveloped as commercial property. Economic history. Historically an agricultural community, Stockton's economy has since diversified into other industries, which include telecommunications and manufacturing. Stockton's central location, relative to both San Francisco and Sacramento, as well as its proximity to the state and interstate freeway system, together with its comparatively inexpensive land costs, have prompted several companies base the regional operations in the city. Construction and public spending beginning in the late 1990s under the mayorship of Gary Podesta, Stockton had commenced some revitalization projects. Newly built or renovated buildings include the Bob Hope Theater, Regal City Center Cinemas and IMAX, San Joaquin RTD Downtown Transit Center, Lexington Plaza Waterfront Hotel, Hotel Stockton, Stockton Arena, San Joaquin County Administration Building, and the Stockton Ballpark. The sunken parking lot in front of the Hotel Stockton was transformed in the late 1990s into a public space named Dean DeCarli Waterfront Square. The area is designed to include a variety of spaces and flexible uses. A sunken plaza, shade structure, numerous trees and planters, stadia seating, bench seating, viewing platforms, a weir at the west end, and a cascading waterfall at the east end. DeCarli Square has become a popular urban place hosting music, art and religious events, festivals, farmers markets, and social gatherings. A new downtown marina and adjacent Joan Darrah Promenade were added along the south shore of the Stockton Deep Water Channel during 2009. Various public art projects were also installed throughout the area. Other projects under consideration by the City Council as of January 2009 include South Shore housing, the revitalization of the Robert J. Cabral train station neighborhood, bridges across the Stockton Deep Water Channel, and a new San Joaquin County courthouse. Real estate bubble. The Stockton real estate market was disproportionately affected by the 2007 subprime mortgage financial crisis, and the city led the United States in foreclosures for that year, with 1 of every 30 homes posted for foreclosure. From September 2006 to September 2007, the value of a median-priced house in Stockton declined by 44%. Stockton's Western Ranch neighborhood, a subdivision of modest tract homes built in the mid-1990s, had the worst foreclosure rate in the area according to Acorn, a national advocacy group for low and moderate-income families. Stockton found itself squarely at the center of the United States' speculative housing bubble in the 2000s. Real estate in Stockton more than tripled in value between 1998 and 2005, but when the bubble burst in 2007, the ensuing financial crisis made Stockton one of the hardest-hit cities in the United States. Stockton housing prices fell 39% in the 2008 fiscal year, and the city had the country's highest foreclosure rate as well. Because of the shrinking economy, Stockton also had an unemployment rate of 13.3% in 2008, one of the highest in the United States. Stockton was rated by Forbes in 2009 as America's fifth most dangerous city because of its crime rate. In 2010, mainly due to the aforementioned factors, Forbes named it one of the top 3 worst places to live. City bankruptcy. Following regional losses to the economy due to the 2008 financial crisis, in July 2012, Stockton became the largest city in U.S. history to file for bankruptcy protection. It was surpassed by Detroit in July 2013. The city approved a plan to exit bankruptcy in October 2013, and voters approved a sales tax on November 5, 2013 to help fund the exit. The collapse in real estate valuations had a negative effect on the city's revenue base. On June 28, 2012, Stockton filed for Chapter 9 bankruptcy. On April 1, 2013, a federal judge accepted the bankruptcy application. On April 1, 2013, Judge Christopher M. Klein, United States Bankruptcy Court, Eastern District of California, Sacramento Division, ruled that Stockton was eligible for bankruptcy protection. The Stockton bankruptcy case has lasted more than 2 years and received nationwide attention. While there are many possible factors that led to the Chapter 9 filing, including the real estate crash and failed city projects, Stockton is being watched along with Detroit to see whether a federal judge will override state law and rule that pensions for municipal employees could be at risk. At issue are the contractual obligations to CalPERS that cities throughout California have undertaken. CalPERS receives special protection from the California State Constitution. On October 4, 2013, Stockton City Council approved a bankruptcy exit plan by a 6-0 vote to be filed with the U.S. Bankruptcy Court, Eastern District of California, Sacramento. Voters approved a 3/4 sales tax which would help fund the bankruptcy exit on November 5, 2013. If federal courts rule on this aspect of the bankruptcy exit plan, it could set a precedent for a state with one of the largest municipal bond markets in the country. According to the U.S. Constitution and laws passed by the U.S. Congress, all bankruptcies in the U.S. are administered by federal courts according to federal law, with some allowances for state law. On October 30, 2014, a federal bankruptcy judge approved the city's bankruptcy recovery plan, thus allowing the city to continue with the planned pension payments to retired workers. The city officially exited from Chapter 9 bankruptcy February 25, 2015. Climate. Stockton has a Mediterranean climate, with hot dry summers and mild winters. In an average year, about 80% of the 13.8 inches of precipitation falls from October through April. Located in the Central Valley, the temperature's range is much greater than in the nearby Bay Area. Tulle fog blankets the area during some winter days. Stockton lies in the fertile heart of the California semi-Mediterranean climate prairie delta, about equidistant from the Pacific Ocean and the Sierra Nevada. At the airport, the highest recorded temperature was 115 degrees Fahrenheit on July 23, 2006, and the lowest was 16 degrees Fahrenheit on Jan. 11, 1949. There are an average of 82 days annually with high temperatures of 90 degrees Fahrenheit or higher, and 18 of 100 degrees Fahrenheit or above. 19 days sea low temperatures at below freezing. The wettest year was 1983 with 26.65 inches, and the lowest year was 1976 with 5.6 inches. The most rainfall in one month was 8.22 inches in February 1998, and the most rainfall in 24 hours was 3.01 inches on Jan. 21, 1967. There are an average of 55 days with measurable precipitation. Only light amounts of snow have been recorded. The most was 0.3 inches in February 1976. Demographics. 2010 U.S. Census. The 2010 United States Census reported that Stockton had a population of 291,707. The population density was 4,505.0 people per square mile. The racial makeup of Stockton was 108,044 white, 35,548 African American, 3,086 Native American, 62,716 Asian, 1,822 Pacific Islander, 60,332 from other races, and 20,159 from two or more races. Hispanic Latino of any race were 117,590 persons. 35.7% of Stockton's population was of Mexican descent, and 0.6% Puerto Rican. The 2010 census reported that 285,973 people lived in households. 3,896 lived in non-institutionalized group quarters, and 1,838 were institutionalized. There were 90,605 households, out of which 41,033 had children under the age of 18 living in them. 41,481 were heterosexual married couples living together. 17,140 had a female householder with no husband present. 7,157 had a male householder with no wife present. There were 7,123 unmarried heterosexual partnerships, and 720 same-sex married or registered domestic partnerships. 19,484 households were made up of individuals, and 7,185 had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 3.16. There were 65,778 families. The average family size was 3.69. The population was spread out with 87,338 people under the age of 18, 34,126 people aged 18 to 24, 76,691 people aged 25 to 44, 64,300 people aged 45 to 64, and 29,252 people who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 30.8 years. For every 100 females there were 96.1 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 92.5 males. There were 99,637 housing units at an average density of 1,538.7 per square mile, of which 46,738 were owner-occupied, and 43,867 were occupied by renters. The homeowner vacancy rate was 3.2%, the rental vacancy rate was 9.4%. 146,235 people lived in owner-occupied housing units and 139,738 people lived in rental housing units. 2000 U.S. Census. As of the census of 2000, there were 243,771 people, 78,556 households, and 56,167 families residing in the city. The population density was 1,720.4 per square kilometers. There were 82,042 housing units at an average density of 579.0 per square kilometers. The racial makeup of the city was 43.26% white, 11.25% African American, 1.12% Native American, 19.90% Asian, 0.40% Pacific Islander, 17.31% from other races, and 6.76% from two or more races. 32.50% of the population were Hispanic or Latino of any race. There were 78,556 households, out of which 40.8% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 48.1% were married couples living together. 17.3% had a female householder with no husband present, and 28.5% were non-families. 22.9% of all households were made up of individuals, and 8.6% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 3.04 and the average family size was 3.59. In the city, the population was spread out with 32.4% under the age of 18, 11.0% from 18 to 24, 27.4% from 25 to 44, 18.9% from 45 to 64, and 10.2% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 30 years. For every 100 females there were 95.0 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 91.0 males. The median income for a household in the city was $35,453, and the median income for a family was $40,434. Males had a median income of $35,181 versus $26,602 for females. The per capita income for the city was $15,405. 23.9% of the population and 18.9% of families were below the poverty line. 32.8% of those under the age of 18 and 11.9% of those 65 and older were living below the poverty line. Negative rankings. Due to a number of socio-economic problems, Stockton has been subject to a series of negative national rankings. In a 2010 Gallup poll, Stockton was tied with Montgomery, Alabama for the most obese metro area in the U.S. with an obesity rate of 34.6%. In the February 2012 issue of Forbes, the magazine ranked Stockton the 8th most miserable U.S. city, largely as a result of the steep drop in home values and higher unemployment. In 2012, the National Insurance Crime Bureau ranked Stockton 7th in auto theft rate per capita in the U.S. In 2012, Stockton was ranked as the 10th most dangerous city in America and the 2nd most dangerous in California. In 2013, Stockton was ranked as the 3rd least literate city in the U.S. in a study by Central Connecticut State University, with less than 17% of adults holding a college degree, and ABC.com ranked the city as the 3rd least literate of all U.S. cities with a population of more than 250,000, behind Bakersfield, California, and Corpus Christi, Texas. Top employers. According to the city's 2009 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, the top employers in the city are